Tommy Moon from EastEnders has become entangled in Joel Marshall's sinister scheme, heavily influenced by toxic, misogynistic ideas drawn from online manosphere culture. Although Tommy never sank to the same level of sexual assault and brutal violence as Joel, he's still facing scrutiny for the part he played alongside his deeply troubled friend. Once a lonely boy who turned to an AI chatbot for companionship, Tommy quickly fell under Joel's spell when the confident newcomer arrived in Walford. The pair bonded fast, with Joel soon exposing him to extreme pornography and violent material. It later emerged that Joel's sudden move to Walford was no coincidence. He had been caught upskirting a female student in Australia. His father, Ross Marshall, reportedly paid the girl's family $50,000 and agreed to their condition that Joel leave the country. Joel's behaviour only worsened. He filmed himself sleeping with Avani Nandra Hart and later sexually assaulted a woman on the tube, persuading Tommy to record his vile actions. As Joel's true nature began to surface, Kat and Alfie Moon desperately tried to persuade Tommy to cut ties, but he stubbornly refused, defending his manipulative friend. After another scandal at school, where the pair showed explicit clips to their classmates, Joel lashed out violently at his stepmother, Vicky Fowler. Panicked, he ran to Tommy, pleading for help and asking to be hidden from the police. Tommy reluctantly agreed, but the truth eventually caught up with them. Both he and his father reported Joel, leading to his arrest for the attack on Vicky. Although no longer by Joel's side, Tommy is now grappling with the consequences of being drawn into the dark online world of the manosphere and the toxic influence that consumed him. In tonight's episode, Kat and Alfie cautiously told Tommy that he could return to school the next day. The thought horrified him, as his classmates continue to mock and isolate him online because of his connection to Joel. When Kat pushed the issue, his half-sister Zoe Slater tried a gentler tactic, joining him for a video game, until Jean Slater walked in and mentioned Joel, prompting Tommy to storm off. Meanwhile, Alfie shared a quiet drink with Ross, Ian Beale, and Harvey Monroe, assuring them that Tommy was strong enough to bounce back. Zoe, however, challenged him, insisting it was clear that Tommy was still struggling. Later, sitting alone in the cafe, Tommy faced more humiliation when Lily Slater and Ricky Branning mocked him. When Ricky became too aggressive, Lily sent him away but stayed behind to twist the knife, telling Tommy everyone despised him and that he shouldn't return to school. Overcome with grief, Tommy's eyes welled with tears as the harsh reality hit him. Is there any chance for the young boy to find redemption? EastEnders drops biggest clue yet about Jasmine's identity in early BBC iPlayer release. Tonight's episode of EastEnders opens immediately after yesterday's shocking events, with Nigel Bates sitting dazed behind the wheel of his car as Jasmine Fisher and Gina Knight lie motionless on the road. Jasmine was the first to regain consciousness, dazed and disoriented, before the pain hit her and she realized the severity of her injuries. She fumbled for her phone and managed to call for help, only for it to die mid-call, sending her into a panic. Meanwhile, a shaken and bewildered Nigel stepped out of the vehicle and moved toward her. Begging him to ring for an ambulance, Jasmine's desperation soon turned to anger. Struggling to breathe, she gasped, "I can't die like this. She's destroyed everything. She has to pay for what she did." Before she could name the mysterious woman she blamed, Jasmine slipped back into unconsciousness, just as the sound of sirens filled the air. Since Jasmine first arrived in Walford, her enigmatic background has kept everyone guessing. She appeared fixated on Cindy Beale from the start, cunningly convincing a trusting Freddie Slater to give up his job at the Albert. Cindy, though wary of Jasmine's manipulative nature, admired her ambition and offered her Freddie's position at the bar. From that moment on, both viewers and characters have struggled to piece together the truth about her past. Her complicated partner, Oscar Branning, once questioned whether she was running from something or searching for someone, to which Jasmine teasingly replied that it might be a bit of both. When Cindy and Elaine Peacock tried probing deeper into her story, Jasmine brushed them off, claiming she was merely dodging her family's business. The comment only heightened their suspicions that her family ties might be far darker than she let on. Jasmine has since grown increasingly obsessed with Cindy, prying into every corner of her history while keeping her own background tightly guarded. Her reaction was especially defensive when Elaine asked to see some identification. Later, Jasmine managed to coax information out of Oscar, discovering that Cindy had once faked her death after betraying her former cellmate, gangster Jackie Ford. Longtime fans will remember that Cindy's death in 1998 was staged as part of a witness protection arrangement, a deal struck after she provided the police with incriminating details about Jackie Ford in exchange for a reduced sentence. For decades, Cindy lived under the alias Rose Knight until 2023, when Jackie's death in prison finally allowed her to reclaim her true identity. But the big question remains, who was Jasmine referring to in those fading moments on the pavement? Did Cindy truly ruin everything? Could Jasmine have ties to the Ford family? Or is there an entirely different truth waiting to be uncovered? EastEnders Halloween Spoilers reveals Kat Slater drops Zoe bombshell as Ravi Gulati puts Oki in charge. The Slater family have faced a stormy few months in Albert Square. As EastEnders heads into Halloween week, upcoming spoilers hint that Kat Slater will drop a major bombshell at the Queen Vic, while her daughter Zoe is pushed to make a difficult choice after receiving an ultimatum. Their long-awaited reunion has been anything but peaceful. Zoe was shot on the very night she came face-to-face with her mother after 20 years apart. Although she survived the ordeal, shocking truths soon followed when it was revealed that Michelle Ryan's character secretly gave birth to twins in 2006. Since uncovering that revelation, Zoe has been determined to track down her missing son, firmly believing her baby girl died during childbirth, a belief no one has ever corrected. Earlier this year, Zoe caused chaos when her affair with Max Branning came to light, and she later broke Sharon Watts' heart by claiming that Sharon's late husband, Dennis Rickman, fathered her children. Now, another stunning twist is on the horizon as Zoe prepares to reveal yet another secret, making Halloween week one of the most explosive in EastEnders history. On Monday, October 27th, Zoe's shocking confession weighs heavily on Kat's mind as they get ready for quiz night at the Vic. Alfie Moon warns Kat not to get involved, but she can't resist trying to speak with her daughter, though Zoe is preoccupied searching for her missing cat. Meanwhile, Vicky Fowler discusses Zoe's missing son with Ian Beale, and seeing how much Sharon is hurting, Ian sends Vicky money to help with the search. During quiz night, Kat overhears Vicky talking to Ross Marshall and impulsively decides to act, loudly revealing Zoe's secret in front of everyone at the pub, leaving chaos in her wake. A week after the car accident, Nigel and Julie Bates share a tender moment, but their happiness fades when Nigel tearfully admits he's too unwell for their long-dreamed trip to India. Elsewhere, Ross Marshall opens up to Alfie about his romance with Vicky, while Kojo attempts to sneak out to seek help, only for Oki to block his path. Following his sister Lauren's advice, Oscar Branning begins pressing Jasmine for answers about her mysterious past, confronting her at the Albert. As Halloween night begins on Wednesday, October 29th, disaster strikes when a burst sewer pipe floods the Vic's barrel store. While cleaning up the mess, Alfie uncovers an old VHS tape from the 1980s. Eager for peace, Alfie tries to bring Kat, Jean, and Zoe back together. Though Kat forgives Zoe, Jean refuses, sparking another rift between mother and daughter. As the Halloween celebrations kick off, Ross shows up with a VHS player to play the tape, but Kat hesitates, fearing its contents could upset Zoe. Still uneasy over a broken photograph, Zoe lashes out at Vicky, accusing her of sabotage, until Anthony Truman steps in to defuse the tension. Outside, Anthony attempts to comfort his former flame, but his words only anger her further. Later that evening, Zoe returns to find the VHS tape playing, and in a furious outburst, throws everyone out of the Vic. Kat insists she wasn't responsible, but Anthony quietly voices his growing concern. Meanwhile, the Panasars rally around Eve and Suki as they prepare for an important meeting with the adoption agency. The meeting goes smoothly, but Eve panics when she learns that a reference from her estranged mother is required to move forward. Thursday, October 30th, brings the dramatic Halloween conclusion. Zoe grows increasingly paranoid, convinced someone is plotting against her, and lashes out at Anthony before ordering him to leave the Vic. Anthony confides in Kat, uncertain whether she believes his fears. Elsewhere, Jean helps Lily care for baby Charlie upstairs. As the night draws on, Kat, Zoe and Tommy sit down together to watch the mysterious 1988 video, and the long-buried secrets of the past begin to resurface.